Hi guys, I just had to jump on here and talk about the really sad news that I found out yesterday that Carolyn Shoemaker has died. She was 92, and you know, that is an amazing life that she had. One of the things that was so amazing about her is she once held the record for the most number of discoveries made by a single human being. Many of them were co-discoveries, and she only started her astronomy career age 51. I'll put a link to her Wikipedia page below this video. I'm not going to talk about everything she's achieved because it was amazing. I mean, she discovered 32 comets and something like 700 asteroids, minor planets and stuff like that, and she was doing that working on kind of stereoscopic instruments, looking at film and looking like kind of a blink comparator at things that had moved. She was most famous for co-discovering comet Shoemaker-Levy 9, which is a fragmented comet that impacted Jupiter in 1994, and that focused a few minds on planetary protection, and she was a big advocate for Asteroid Day and things like that. Her and Eugene, sadly, he died in a car accident, and you know, she was absolutely devastated. And now that she's gone, I'm not a religious person, but I'd like to think that they're now reunited. The Wikipedia pages for both of those people have loads of amazing stuff, but Shoemaker by Levy is an amazing book written by David Levy. David and Wendy and Eugene and Carolyn were such great friends, and I've had the great fortune of interviewing David a few times on Comet Watch, and earlier this year I had the absolute honour of speaking to Caroline. Although I didn't meet her in person, I did get to talk to her on Skype, and she was just so sweet. After the show, I was so overcome with emotion that I literally just sobbed for 20 minutes, and it was not because anything had gone badly. I mean, I was so starstruck talking to her, but it really was just the most amazing experience to get to speak to such an amazing lady. After I'd done Comet Watch, I did actually write a note to pass on to Caroline. I don't know if she ever got it, but I just want to tell you what I said to her because she really, really affected me. Dear Caroline, I honestly can't thank you enough for speaking to us on Comet Watch on Friday. I've been a co-host on Comet Watch for a few years now, and I've really enjoyed meeting every single guest that we have on the show. But this show is not just one of the highlights of my Comet Watch career, it was actually genuinely one of the highlights of my entire life. Although we were all slightly overwhelmed by the enormity of having both Caroline and David Levy on the show at the same time, it was just so enjoyable, and I was so overwhelmed that I was an emotional wreck when we finished recording. I wanted to just say about Caroline as well, I hope you know just how much of an inspiration you've been to myself and so many other female astronomers. It was such an honour to speak to you directly in an experience I'll never ever forget. And I never will ever forget that, and I'm so glad that I was lucky enough to talk to her recently. It's a huge loss to the astronomy community, but my heart really goes out to David and Wendy because they've now lost both of their best friends, and it's just such a huge loss to the astronomy community. As I say, I'm not a religious person, but you know, I hope that they're reunited now. So rest in peace, Caroline, and don't worry, you are still going to keep inspiring women.